You should see the way it makes the ice. Well, I'll show you footage very shortly, guys. Don't worry, it won't be too long. Ice maker. That's right, it's an ice maker. If you haven't figured that out yet, I'm pretty sure you probably have. And it is awesome. So guys, you're probably wondering how this works. Well, let me explain. Quite clever. It pumps some water, draws some water into this cavity, and then it drops down these probes, and these probes freeze. And then as it freezes the water around it, and after about 6-7 minutes, then it pops up, it drops down, and then it pumps a bit of water inside it. Okay, so it's hollow. These tubes are hollow, so there's 9 of them, and then it pumps water in it to release the ice a bit, and then the ice drops down, and then you got this automatic scoop that scoops the ice up and puts it into the ice tray that you see here. So basically that is how it works. And it's also got a handle. Actually, can you hear that, guys? It's actually producing some ice now. So it's just dropped some ice. And guys, I've got a tray here that's almost full of ice. Takes about 6-7 minutes to produce 9 decent size ices. So this thing makes it in 2 sizes. You got a small and a large. I started out with the small, but in our climate the small is just too small. It tends to melt too quick. The large is a good size, and honestly guys, there's not a lot of difference in time on this making the large or the small ice in comparison. So as soon as I seen it on sale for $2.99, I went for it. I was actually online late one night, online on my computer, and I saw it on their website come up for $2.99. So I ordered it then for a pickup, for a local pickup, and it was the last one in stock. And guys, I've had this one for probably a couple of weeks now, and they still to this day they haven't got any more stock in. But if you go into your local RTM store, you might be lucky to find one. Currently on sale, I believe till the end of the week. So it's like a Christmas sale. So they're $100 off. So they're $2.99 Australian dollars, and that's in Christmas 2021. Okay, it's Christmas 2021 in case you're watching this in 2022 or 2023. Good knows, there might be something better out by then, guys. You never know. So I went the next morning and picked it up. I must admit, initially when there's a couple of issues, what I thought were issues that are really not issues anymore, found a way around it. I was on the verge of actually taking this back and just say, nah, forget it, it's a flog, no good. But thank God I persevered with it, guys. Thank God I persevered. The reason being when I first set this up, so I picked it up, and then the next day I set it up, I turned it on, and then it started making ice within about 6-7 minutes. But I was using the small setting. It made the ice, so I got the ice and I put it in the drink, and the ice just fizzled out like nothing. It was like paper thin. I thought, well, geez, I hope it does better than this. And I knew it'd do better than this, because when I first saw it, it was in the RTM store. It was full of ice, and the ice were actually decent size. So I thought, maybe I haven't set it up properly. I'll give it a bit of a chance, I'll give it a bit of a go. And then I noticed that as it was making the ice, they were really thin. The next lot of ice were made, they actually melted. It actually melted inside this ice tray. As you can see now, that's not the problem anymore. Now there's a reason for that. Alright, there's a reason why. So it's really nothing to worry about. But for that reason, I thought it was a flop. I thought, wow, this is not going to work. I was on the verge of bringing it back. But then I thought, well, I've got a 2-week period before I've got to bring it back. So why rush and bring it back? Let's give this thing a chance. And thank God I did. I gave it an extra day. How this menu works, it's very simple. Anyone can do it. Okay, even a baby, even your 2-year-old be able to operate this, guys. So don't need to worry, there's nothing too scientific here. You don't need an engineer's degree to use this. I kid you not. Fair dinkum. And you got a handle. If you want to pick it up and carry it around, you can pick it up and carry it around. How awesome is that? And I scoop, that you would have seen in the preview. I was under the impression that this was be like a storage, like a fridge, freezer. So once it makes the ice, it maintains the ice, and then as you use them, it tops it up. It relies on the temperature of the water. So if you use like lukewarm warm water, or particularly water out of the tap, especially in this hot humid climate that we are in right now in central Queensland, Australia, the water comes out of the tap fairly warm. So something like 30 degrees Celsius it comes out of the tap. Sometimes even hotter, 35 degrees Celsius. So you're pouring that water in here, but what it does, it actually is like a bit like a refrigerated unit as such. What it does, it needs to cool that water right down. So it actually gets that water to, it's almost like it's icy cold. I could put my hands in there now and feel that, and it'll be really icy cold. And in fact, it's a shame I didn't bring a thermometer. I've got a thermometer at home somewhere, and I could test it to see how cold that water is, but believe me, it's cold. So what happens is when you put warm water in it, it takes an hour. Guys, it takes an hour to get that water chilled down. Once that water's chilled down, this thing just throws ice out like you wouldn't believe. The ice then comes out a lot bigger. So until that hour comes up, until that water is icy cold, there it is, guys, it's just making another lot of ice. So we would only been talking for 5-6 minutes here, and it's just made up 9 pieces of ice. So it'll give it another 5, 6, 7 minutes, and it'll make another 9 pieces, and it'll keep doing that until it's full. So, and don't worry, once it's full, it automatically switches off as you use the ice up. I believe you have to come in here and turn the button on and turn it back on. That's the only thing. It does not start automatically. So now it's just dropped some more ice in there. So as I'm sitting here talking to you guys, it's made 20 big pieces of ice in here now, and now it's making another batch. But it's interesting the way it works, how it makes the ice, and it's quite smart. It's quite a smart idea. So guys, now most of you have got a fridge, right? So you're out camping, alright, so if you don't want to wait an hour to make your ice, just get some cold water out the fridge and put it in there, and it'll start putting out the ice straight away. Okay, so you will not have this issue of waiting. So luckily, one day, the next day, it wasn't until late in the afternoon, I just left it go, let it be, and I came back a couple of hours later, or about 3 hours later, and this unit was full of ice. And that's when I noticed that the water was really cold. Now, I want to try a test. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to try a test of putting icy cold water in here beforehand. But I think you'll find that once you put icy cold water in here, it's going to start producing within 8 or 9 minutes. You're going to have enough ice for a cold glass of Coca-Cola or wine, or spread on the rocks, whatever you want to drink, or just to suck on some ice. It's hand them to the kids and make them happy. Whatever you do with ice, I don't know, it's up to you, whatever you do on your ice. The power consumption, according to the specs, it says it uses between 2 to 4 amps. I'd say the cooler the weather is, the probably less amps it's going to draw, I would imagine. I haven't owned it through winter, and most likely I'm probably not going to use it through winter. This will be mainly used through our summer months and our autumn and our spring, so it'll be used most of the time. But during winter, nah. It's cold enough already, guys. Even though I like the cold, prefer to camp in the cold than this hot heat like this. But this thing here, you're not going to be taken with me in winter time. What I've found, as you know, because I've got this monitoring system in here, I've got my fridge running here, and I've got this running here, and there's 9.6 amps is coming out of my battery. Now generally when this fridge is running, it's consuming about 4, it's probably looking around about 4, 3.5, 4 amps, maybe 4.5 amps, say about 4. So it's drawing around about the 4 or 5 amps. Okay, so I find in this kind of heat, the climate, it mainly draws around about 4.5 amps, and it's continuous. I'm curious if anyone's spotted him, if you're as good as me. Okay, so before we let this go too long, I should make a drink, shouldn't I? Before we go any further, I forgot to put my cups back in. So luckily I had this where I was storing the pods for the coffee, and I'm using this for my cup. All right, so don't judge me on this. Okay, I do have proper cups. So what we're going to do is grab some of this nice yummy ice that not long ago came out of my tap at home, some 30-35 degrees, and now I'm in a remote area with no 240 volt power enjoying some ice. So what I got here is some sarsaparilla or Coca-Cola, guys, with on ice. Oh geez, it quenches your thirst really nicely. So guys, well, this thing's chugging along here. You can probably hear it. It's not very noisy, it makes a little bit of noise, but it's not too bad. Thanks for watching. If you can subscribe to my channel, that helps enormously. Also watch as much of the video as you can, that helps me as well. And I know the ads are a pain, but if you watch the ads, it helps me as well. So guys, the more you do that, the more you help me, the more videos I'm going to put out. Look after yourself, be kind to everyone, and go out camping, have fun, Until next time, oh, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. Until next time, cheers. Hopefully you found Wally. See ya.